103. Holy cow. We are at 103 episodes. This is Creating Connections podcast with Mitch Taylor.
And Vicki Musney.
And today we're going to talk about reviews, surveys, questionnaires. Oh my.
That was nice and easy.
What are you talking about? This also speaks to a much bigger issue.
Providing personal solutions through understanding people. This is the Creating Connections podcast with Gitomer Certified Advisor Mitch Taylor and Certified Personality Trainer Vicki Musney.
Welcome back to Creating Connections podcast, episode number 103. I am Mitch Taylor.
And I'm Vicki Musney.
And today we're talking about reviews, questionnaires, surveys. Oh.
It doesn't have to be like that. And we didn't pick this topic just because we thought, hey, it's time to do a show on reviews.
Right.
This is our Q&A episode where we look through some of the posts on the Sales for Event Pros Facebook group and look for topics and themes that have been coming up, questions that people have asked. And recently a member asked about, so how do you actually get clients to get reviews? And Mitch, you have some really specific techniques that you use.
Yeah.
I hope that you will share those.
Sure.
But even just backing up a little bit before the how, I think we need to think bigger because what we're really talking about here is social proof.
Yes, absolutely.
And that can look differently. Yes, reviews is one form of that. Where you want people to go on to a certain site. Please go to Wedding Wire. Please go to The Knot. But there are other ways to get positive feedback and shareable feedback that I think are also really valuable. So I want to make sure we go bigger than the actual question.
And it's not just positive feedback or sharing feedback. It's positive word of mouth. And, you know, today's day and age of digital media, social media, that positive word of mouth, continuing the conversation and continue the connection with the client is huge, huge. And that's what you have to do. So the first step to get a good review is you want to bribe them.
Okay, let's back up a little bit and explain. Because honestly, there's two things here, really. I know you were kind of being silly, but
right.
We want honest feedback. Too. There is a time and a place where you want people to tell you if they weren't happy with something. But I would love to see that not be done in the form of a public review. I would rather get that feedback privately.
Yes. And so that goes back to the relationship you have with that client. If you have a strong relationship with that client, then you'll be able to avoid that kind of public humiliation. If you do not have a strong relationship with that client, if they have thought they have been mistreated in some way, then
sorry.
Bless you.
Thank
Gesundheit. Atizimor.
Thank you.
I don't know the Spanish person to say that, but
Salud.
Salud. There you go. See, now we're bilingual, multilingual here. So basically what you want to do is establish a relationship first. Number one, that trumps everything. Everything can go back to what kind of relationship do you have with the client? Mm-hmm. Now, to getting reviews, people ask, well, how do you get reviews back? How do you get reviews back? For me, we have a simple, questionnaire, if you will.
And I think that's key. You have a survey that you've created, questions that you wrote, that you chose, and that is distinctly different than just saying, hey, go on to this website and do this.
Well, and frankly, we're gonna revise our survey, questionnaire, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna revise that here again this year because I want to get away. In some parts, we have number ratings, if you will, but I want to get away from that. And to me, you need to constantly be evolving. Mm-hmm. And with today's society of 80 squirrel, you may lose them with a 2-page survey.
Yes.
And so for me, I'm going to kind of dump that part of it, but move more to always asking questions that ultimately show the benefit for a future prospective client to buy.
Yeah.
That to me is the end all be all the survey. Now, how do you get them back? So that's the question. Right?
Yes, that's what we need to focus on.
Sorry.
That's okay.
How do you get them back? So
and I think you do this better than anybody that I've met. Your process makes so much sense to me.
So how we do that is we ask for the surveys back in the survey, and then we follow up with an email as well, asking for them back. And we also send it digitally to them in a PDF document via email, and we send a hard copy in the mail as well. So they're hit with it twice. And then at the end of the survey, it says, we loved working with you, had a great time at your event. If you fill out this survey and send us a review online on Wedding Wire, or record a video testimonial about your experience with us, if you do 2 out of 3 of those, we'll send you to dinner on us at your favorite restaurant. Simple as that. And that's, to me, it's just...
Yes, it's different than bribing, saying, if you say this, I'll give you this. But yeah, in a sense, you are bribing them because you want to get it back. You're incentivizing it.
I'm incentivizing, I want to get back the review. I'm not incentivizing saying
the survey,
good stuff about me.
Yes,
and you
want the feedback.
I've had fellow event pros go after me and say, well, you're just saying that so they'll say nice things about you. You're just paying them to... No, I'm not.
No, you're not spoon feeding them at all. In fact, you're being really vulnerable, because if they did happen to have a bad experience, you're encouraging them to share that in multiple ways and multiple platforms.
Exactly.
And honestly, I think that it provides you great extra accountability to continue to provide awesome service. I mean,
absolutely.
If you're encouraging people within your process to review you and share, but assuming that you're doing a good job, and they're likely to say something positive about you. Yes. The brilliance in this, to me, lies in the fact that you are getting feedback in different formats.
And it's not just feedback in different formats. I think we talked about, reviews, surveys, testimonials. It's just questions. And then the other thing you want to hit on is, stop keeping that relationship going, right? Mm-hmm. Because, I talk about in the Sales for Event Pros, the book, and we talk about it on the Be the Expert Toolkit with regards to those monthly checklists. Yeah. A client gets an email from us once a month. So
staying top of mind.
Yeah, staying top of mind. Mm-hmm. So the same thing happens when they get married, and now down the line, I use social media. I absolutely friend my clients on Facebook. And then I use social media to be able to stay top of mind. So if I see they're having a child, I have a baby books in the back that I will literally write with a pen inside the book an inscription to the client about personal experience with us, and then send them a baby book in the mail. Yep. And that is actually better than reviews sometimes, because now it's a year later or whatever it is after their wedding day. And now they're posting about the fact that they got a book from their entertainment company for their wedding, and people see that connection still being made, still being created, still being offered.
Well, it's a real relationship that, it's a real friendship and an ongoing relationship that you weren't just my client for that one day. You were my client from the time that I met you and from now on.
Well, and even, I think we talked about this. Was it a podcast recently we did together, or was it Live at 7:55 segment? I forget.
I wasn't at Live at 7:55.
I know you're not awake at that hour. But I believe it was it was a podcast we did a couple weeks ago, and we talked about the fact that Sandy, about her dad passing, and that I did her wedding 7 years ago, almost 7 years ago, and yet she still called me when she needed something that I could help her with in the realm of AV, if you will, right?
Yeah.
So I think that shows the relationship established and created, and moving forward from there, and being available to help somebody at their time of need.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and all of that goes back to just creating a relationship of trust and valuing what people experience and what they have to say about the experience. You know, I think people that are afraid or unwilling to send surveys, to send questionnaires, to encourage reviews, aren't happy, or they know deep down they're not providing the kind of service that they should be.
Yes, deep down they know in their heart of hearts they could be.
God, if my clients were honest, I don't want people to know that.
Right.
Well, you've got a bigger problem if that's where you are.
And we constantly need to be reevaluating and analyzing where we're at, what we could do better. And I think that's important to have, you know, short surveys kind of thing sent out, but also just reevaluating that relationship. So it's like, I had another couple, I did their wedding June 20th, 2009 off the top of my head. And it's funny, our thing, right, that we have is mana. The Muppets thing, right? It's like this thing we talked about, and then whenever I see that come across Facebook, I'll just tag her in it and send it to her, you know, kind of thing. And it keeps that relationship. So if you want a great review, I would say start from the foundation. Have a great connection from the start.
Have a great connection, a great relationship, and great service.
Yes. And build.
And then it's not hard. But also the strategy of making it easy for them, sending them a written copy as well as, you know, an electronic copy, giving them the, sending links saying, if you want a review on a particular site, here you go. Make it easy for them. And then, thanking them, rewarding them. We hardly hit on video testimonials. I think those are really cool. Yeah. I try to do those, even if it's just on my phone. I will try, obviously if we're videoing the wedding, I can do a better job. But if I'm just there for DJing, and I don't have my full, video equipment there, I'll do it on my phone. I'll try to do it right there on the spot. Yeah. And while they're still, dressed in their tux and wedding dress, and pull them into a quiet area and just have them say something in the moment. But if you can get them to sit down on their couch later in front of their own laptop and say a few words about the service you provided, people that are looking for your services want to hear from other people who are looking for them. Yeah. And providing that in a different way is also just really, really valuable for you. So
yeah, it was even today I got a phone call from a guy. We ultimately couldn't help him, but referred from a previous wedding I did back in October. And again, you should be generating at least one referral per every event you perform. On average, right? Some weddings events you'll get nothing. Other events you'll get like 8, which is awesome. So again, foundational, create the relationship and ask, make it easy for them. Don't forget to ask. And then incentivize it. I don't see anything wrong with incentivizing it.
No, I don't.
You're not incentivizing a positive review. You're incentivizing a review.
Period.
Period. And people can argue all they want. Fine, you can argue it. I don't agree.
Don't argue with Mitch.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm just kidding.
My wife.
Well, not when you're right.
Time,
This is our show. This is our opinion.
Yes, exactly. Thanks for joining us for Creating Connections for Event Pros today. This is episode number 103. Coming up next week, we get to interview an industry icon in the mobile DJ world, and that is John Young from Disc Jockey News. So stay tuned and subscribe on the link down below. You'll be able to hear everything we talk about with John Young next week. I'm Mitch Taylor.
I'm Vicki Musney.
Creating connections for event pros, providing personal solutions through understanding people better. We'll see you next time.
Have a great week.
Thank you for listening to the Creating Connections podcast with Gittimer Certified Advisor Mitch Taylor and Certified Personality Trainer Vicki Musney. For more information on providing personal solutions through understanding people better, visit creatingconnections.biz.